It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we have Amon-Ra St. Brown on center stage. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the
National Football League presented by EA Sports.
Madden, NFL 25.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cardinals offense heading out, and they do so behind Kyler Murray, their dynamic quarterback in his 6th season now from Oklahoma.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Finds his running back, James Conner. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards on the game's opening play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense. Oh, Conner loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. From the gun, Murray. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. To throw, it's Murray. Over the middle, Harrison. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Here's Murray. That's complete to Michael Wilson. Throw out wide is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Murray going to throw. Man open, here's Jones. Touchdown, Cardinals. Zay Jones, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That time a 9-play drive, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. 7-0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And he's off to a tremendous start here through 2 weeks of the season. Already 9 touchdown passes. Everyone wants to come out and generate a little momentum. He's done that and more, no question about it.
Goff in this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. In motion left goes a tight end. Back to throw, Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. These are his numbers from last week's contest. Now you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
Go.
To throw is Goff. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
4 down. Maverick.
Goff now looking to throw. Fighting through pressure. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Again, Goff. He's got right on the short throw. Room to maneuver at the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now Goff. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And that will be incomplete. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job. Badgley's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. First carry for James Conner. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Here's Conner again. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now Murray. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. So now here's the former Lion, Matt Prater, on for the field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Prater's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he's got room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
One of the better young players in the league, and Gibbs took this Lions offense to another level when he arrived last season. Explosive, beat you in a variety of ways, and that was on full display that time as he picks up a new set of downs for his unit.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Goff. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Goff now looks to throw. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side. Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Trey McBride, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. To throw is Murray. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Here's Murray. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
This 2nd and 4. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
The Lions offense set to take over. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Here's Goff. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down.
Here we go.
Gone. And he's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Badgley on for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17 to 10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Let's go. 4, 2, 2, 1.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Murray now. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what?
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Stephon Gilmore dials the corner blitz and earns the sack.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy. because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on third down. Really? Should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return.
Amon-Ra St. Brown and the rest of the Detroit Lions getting set for another series here.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Another catch for him there, and the numbers starting to stack up a bit. He's closing in already on a 100-yard game. We're still in the first half.
Here's Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing again is Goff. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Goff.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
The production sensational here early on. That last catch going to put him up over 100 yards receiving already in this first half of play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Goff. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Badgley able to knock this one through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the Titans who get the win at home. Will Levis leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Anthony Richardson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football at State Farm Stadium. And for the call, let's head back out to Glendale and hand it over to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. We're going to look at Amon-Ra St. Brown as his offense readies for the next drive.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. To try again after the sack. Goff. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Chris Barnes.
And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
The Cardinals offense and Kyler Murray headed back out onto the field. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. After the turnover, here's Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Connor. And the Cardinals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Connor will take this one in. It's a Cardinal touchdown.
You think about James Conner down near the goal line, and you think about the 2021 season with his 15 touchdown runs. He believes he's as good as anybody down close, and he powers his way in here.
Now Prater to add the PAT. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39, so solid starting field position. So here are the Lions to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on the punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up,
Automatic
or if you're
first
going
down.
to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And Thomas has it. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
To throw is Goff. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you
Automatic
argue your
first
case
down.
with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 6.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Well, this defense just has not been able to keep him under wraps. That's now 10 catches for him in the ball game.
Listen.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. To the air again. Goff. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 4.
A give running right is Connor. And Connor going to pick up a Cardinals first down as he'll get this up past the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Murray going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Connor up the middle. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's got his target. That's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Prater's kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Lions offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come.
And he works free. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
And this young man does nothing but continue to ascend to the top of the wide receiver charts. Very similar to his team. Last year alone, he finished in the top 5 in catches, yards, and touchdowns, tied for 2nd in the league with 119 total grabs. Not bad for a former 4th-round pick, and he and his Lions continue to take aim at the rest of the league.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Goff.
He's got it complete to Gibbs.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
And the Lions first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Goff now to throw.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Again, Goff.
That is caught.
Still fighting for more. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
More of the same right there. He's up to 15 catches now this ball game alone.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Lions are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions.
Michael Badgley to kick off for the Lions.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Aiden Hutchinson
Picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long.
1, 2.
Back to throw.
pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Murray. Catch made right side by Wilson. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running.
And he loses the football a second time. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Amon-Ra St. Brown and the rest of the Detroit Lions getting set for another series here.
And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Throwing on second and long. Goff. And his throw is incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Here we go on fourth. Goff. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Lions turned away on fourth down. Then the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. To throw is Murray. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. His throw incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. Crossing route, and he hits his man. It's Jones.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Murray now. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Lions are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
We get a look at Amon-Ra St. Brown as his offense readies for the next drive.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
And his fine first half of the season continues. That is his 50th catch already. Well on his way to the century mark, and perhaps even significantly beyond that.
Now Goff.
He'll go right back to St. Brown.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. That'll put him right on the doorstep of a 200-yard game. He's at 199 as he picks up the first. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Goff going to throw it. Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Here's 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Passing lanes, tough to come by with so many defensive backs on the field here late in the game. And it's not just the number of bodies, it's their quickness and their agility that makes it tough to...
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Here's Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
He continues to be a thorn in the side of this defense. That last catch going to put him over 200 yards receiving now for the ball game. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
They juked him. Oh, some strong running. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for the Lions, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long and sign off from the desert.